I tried swimming like the Olympians do, the double kick, kicking with both legs at the same time. Oh, I forgot to finish this color. Gotta go back in here, get this color again. I forgot the highlights for the color as well. Alright, gotta do it right. Anything worth doing, it's worth doing right. Tell you what, that beeping that you hear is my dehumidifier. It is working overtime. It is making me empty it multiple times a day instead of just once a day. So I will be back. And we're back. We are back. Back again. Guess who's back? Back again. I don't know the rest of the words. I'm not cool enough to know the rest of the words. So I started talking about alpha. I had a conversation with a pastor who he does some preaching at the church. He's not actually part of my church, but long story. You didn't ask for the long story, but he used to be a Pentecostal and he has some dealings with the Holy Spirit. And I come from a background that is not Holy Spirit filled. We do, when we baptize, when we used to, that church, even without me, still baptizes people in the name of the Holy Spirit. It's so funny. I still say we when talking about my old church. So I guess I'm going to have to get used to that. But the point is that I'm really not. So I'm wondering whether or not I actually did have the Holy Spirit. Like, I don't have the gifts that the Holy Spirit is supposed to be shown when you get the Holy Spirit. So that's what the conversation was about. And so at the end, I talked myself into realizing that yes, I do have the Holy Spirit, even though I don't, I can't speak in other languages other than languages that I've studied. I have studied English and French and Spanish, but I can't speak those fluently. But there has been, I have experienced things like, for example, when I was looking for the church that God wanted me to go to, I looked at the Bema map, Bema, the podcast that I listen to, and they have a map of all of the discussion groups that they have all around the world, actually. So I used that map in order to find a church near me that believes most similarly the way I do. And as soon as I got an answer from the church that was on that map, my heart was just like, I wanted to go then. Like, I wanted to just get there. So I believe the Holy Spirit told me that that's the church that we're going to be going to. My wife had needed more convincing than just that. But after she had gone there one time, thankfully it was only one time that she needed to be convinced, she agreed that this is the church that we need to attend. Also, like, I think it was the second time I ever went there, same church, there was a woman who they were asking for good news sharing, and people were talking about their lives, and this woman mentioned that she's having trouble at her job with her boss, and she doesn't know what to do. And I too was having trouble with my boss, and I had already looked up information on how to deal with a narcissistic boss. So I had that information ready. So, and she says that she would not have mentioned anything. She's not usually the type of person that says something like that in front of people. So, and was it a coincidence? I don't believe it was a coincidence that I was there on that day. She was sitting right behind me. All I had to do was turn around and show her what I had found recently. So yeah, I mean, I don't speak in tongues. Like I said, I don't do miraculous healings. I don't have those gifts of the Spirit, but I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen to anyone. I've heard many stories of Muslims in Arab countries that have visions about Jesus, similar to how Paul saw Saul, later to be called Paul, saw Jesus in a vision, went blind, but saw Jesus. So that was a much longer discussion than I expected it to be. All I had was 3 questions, and it turned out to be maybe half an hour of talking on the phone.